Good morning, everyone. So I am Jyoti Singh. I am partner in Aumyaa Consulting Services, and we are here to having a webinar on a very important topic, which is ESG and artificial intelligence, unlocking the future of responsible innovation. So as you can see that the ESG is becoming very, very important, and so also the AI adoption is increasing globally. So you can see the tagline here that AI isn't just teaching cars to drive, it's also teaching companies to think. From climate risks to supply chains, ESG decisions are getting a digital co-pilot. So this is the context of the session where we are trying to understand that how ESG adoption can be increased by the companies. Why ESG matters today? So ESG has adoption is increasing day by day. ESG is no longer optional. The companies across the globe, they are adopting ESG, and the reason is that the stakeholders, the investors, they are putting pressure on the companies to adopt ESG. The climate risk is increasing. The businesses which are not adopting ESG, they are not able to create proper value for their stakeholders. The long-term creation value is not there, and so they are not able to survive and grow in this dynamic environment. It is ESG is also it's also linked to the operational efficiency, because if ESG, the environmental, social, and governance aspects are properly taken care of in a company, then only it can its operations will be efficient. It can have a competitive advantage, and the risk also to which it is exposed in this world, in the global scenario, that will also be reduced. And when we talk about the ESG standards, so you can see here there's a lot of things which have happened recently in the ESG standard scenario. 3-4 years back around, there were many standards, many frameworks. There was a lot of fragmentation, and then now the consolidation has happened with the IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, coming out with International Sustainability Standard Board, which has converged many other frameworks. Like you can see here, the convergence diagram which is given. So TCFD was a framework only for climate disclosures, that is Task Force on Climate Related Financial Disclosures. Similarly, there was a GRI also, Global Reporting Initiative was also there. Also, it has not merged with ISSB, but they have come up with a mapping kind of document where the investors can see that a GRI and ISSB reports are comprehensively covering the same aspects. Then there is integrated reporting, there's value reporting foundation, CDSB. So in a way, the ESG has come to a very important point where the issues of frameworks and standards has been resolved by the regulators. And why it has been resolved? Because the stakeholders were demanding that the reports, first of all, there was necessity of ESG reporting, but since the standards and frameworks which are being used were different, so comparability was not there. This was also hindering the capital markets also, because now apart from the normal financial rating which the investors used to see, there is also ESG rating which is also being given prominence by the capital market. So this is what takes us to the point that the question of ESG being important is growing day by day. When you talk about the recent surveys on rapid growth in ESG expectations, so like there is a global CEO survey recently done, which says that climate change and technological disruptions are the top two mega trends. And most of the CEOs, they're planning to invest in sustainability. If you see the World Economic Forum report also, it says that the top 10 risks, out of the top 10 risks, the maximum are because of climate risks. The global warming, the pollution is all increasing day by day. And in the same line, that there is a lot of technological disruption also having is there, because many AI agents are coming. There's a lot of AI adoption is there. The companies which are not able to adopt AI, they're also not able to survive. So you can see that there are two different things, but if they move parallelly, if they move together, then that will be most beneficial to the organizations across the globe. So when we talk about ESG adoption, so companies are doing ESG adoption. There is a lot of mandate also is there, mandatory, like in India, the top 1,000 companies, by market capitalization, they're required to do the sustainability reporting. But many companies are also doing voluntarily. So there is mandatory also, there is voluntarily also. So there are many challenges which the companies are facing. First of all, if we talk about the challenges, there is a lot of fragmented data ecosystem is there. There is ESG data is there, which is in a lot of departments. If you talk about, like HR is having the data about the employees, the operations is having data about the wastage and the manufacturing and all. The compliances are with the legal department. The R&D is going to give you the data about the R&D systems and all. So the data is scattered, fragmented, and sometimes when we are doing our assignments with the clients, we face a problem that the data validation is a very, very big problem. Then manual error prone reporting, like the collecting and validating data is very, very crucial part in ESG reporting. Lack of standardization across frameworks, although the standardization process is in place, but still it is not completed as yet. Like in India, companies have adopted BRSR, but still they are doing the GRI reporting. And then the companies, they have to do, ESG is still a growing domain. And it is, as I always say, it is very, very multidisciplinary. So the ESG skill sets, they are lacking, and still people are learning. The professionals are gaining new skills for that. Then issues are also regarding the traceability and defensibility of reported matrices. That is also one issue, because when the audits have to be conducted, like audits are mandatory up to 500 in India right now, but gradually in the phased manner they will be mandatory for other companies also. So for auditability, you need traceability, you need audit trails. There the issue arises. So when we understand what are the issues currently that ESG adoption, the companies are facing, then we can see how the AI integration will help to resolve this problem. So AI can be taken as a catalyst or as a transformative force, which is capable of automating the ESG data. It can help, take data from various departments, and also it can help in forecasting the data. And then the most crucial part is that it can help the companies to make sustainability aligned decisions. Because if you talk about big companies, they are having many subsidiaries or many projects, and the data is scattered. So when this data is consolidated, the data is validated, the forecasting can be improved. The company can plan how where to invest in in improving the climate risk, how much renewable energy do they need, or how to do waste management. So unless and until the data is proper, the analysis is proper, the top management of the board of directors cannot take these decisions. So the convergence of ESG and AI is definitely going to redefine how the organizations are measuring their impact, how they are building long-term value. So apart from ensuring compliance, like compliance is one of the most important part, but how to take advantage, how to leverage this ESG adoption, this will also be helped by the AI integration. So as we have discussed, like in other places also where AI is being adopted, it is going to reduce the manual effort. It is going to improve the data quality, which is the data which is being collected from various departments, and a deeper analysis will be available. So these are the benefits of the ESG and AI integration. The real-time dashboards can be created. Earlier, the dashboards with the data are created, quarterly or 6 monthly. So, but sometimes if the decisions have to be taken on time, so real-time dashboards are also will help in that. So overall, it is going to boost transparency, accountability, and long-term planning. So that, as we have discussed, it will help you to extract the insights from data and improve automation of ESG processes and reporting. In the companies like who are doing like BRSR reporting, they need the data till 31st March. But if they have some AI integration, they can collect the monthly level basis level data, and they can get analyzed. AI can also use third-party ESG data to build product-level emission profiles. If we are making some low-carbon products, and if we have data of other competitors, so AI can also be used to understand that how our product can be the carbon emissions can be lowered much more than what is being offered by the other competitors in the market. Now, the supply chain is very, very, tricky thing, because supply chain emissions are the maximum in any organization, especially if we are talking about the manufacturing organizations. When we talk about the supply chain, we are talking about both the suppliers who are giving the raw material, and also when we are transporting our goods to the customers, the whole supply chain is, in fact, the new term which is being used by the SEBI also is value chain. So how to calculate the emissions in the value chain is the most difficult thing, the most challenging thing which the companies are facing. And AI can help to manage and verify the supplier emission data. It can help to collect the data from various suppliers, automate the data collection systems, and also give them a simple kind of template or something where they can put the data, and verifiability can also be done. Suppose a supplier A is giving its data, and there is a lot of variation in its carbon emissions month wise, so AI can always give you the red flags that where that why this variation is there, and that can be probed deeper. And AI can be used to ensure compliances across boundaries, because when the multinational companies are there, when they're operating in various continents, their work is spreading across various continents, and there are laws which are so stringent, the compliance is so stringent, then AI can definitely help those companies to ensure compliances with the applicable laws and regulations in various continents or in various countries where they are having the operations. So then again, the question is that the ESG can definitely drive the business value, but that ESG has to be intelligent. And when we say intelligent ESG, that means that the human intelligence has to be there to make that integration effective and also flawless. So if you can see, the accuracy will be there, the ESG data accuracy will be there, then cost cutting can be there. If there are lengthy manual reporting is there, the data collection is so much is there, the validation process is very lengthy and cumbersome, so that can also be streamlined by AI integration. Speed is, again, when we're talking about real-time dashboards, the real-time data analysis, then that is going to be easier when AI is being adopted. Insights, uh, uh, maybe when we are doing the manual analysis, or when we are not using AI, the analysis is not giving such good insights. But when we are adopting AI, then the insights will be better there, and it can be linked also to the financial items. If you are seeing that, okay, so much kilowatt hours of electricity is being used, or so much kiloliter of fuel is being used, what is the price of that? When why are we not saving on that? So financial and non-financial data can also be analyzed together to bring out new insights for the senior management and the board of directors. So if you say that the AI is the backbone of next-gen ESG reporting, then that will be, I think, correct, that the next-gen ESG reporting will have to use AI as its backbone so that it can scale up. It can use automation for data collection, tagging across global operations, and it can deliver the speed and efficiency which was not possible without AI integration. Accuracy will be there. Then predictive intelligence, again with the advanced analytics, it will be there. Dynamic benchmarking will be there. So when they have operations across various countries, then the compliance is a very, very difficult part for them, especially in the manufacturing sector, where there are a lot of labor laws which are applicable in different countries. When we say how the AI is going to advance the environmental sustainability, so there are few examples, like it can help to optimize energy. There can be smart systems which can be used to reduce energy waste in buildings, in factories, and also in the logistics. Then emission tracking and forecasting. So as we are discussing that scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions are there, the scope 3 emissions are in the supply chain. So how they can be estimated and calculated, how the emissions data can be, collected and tracked properly. And then based upon that, the companies can also plan their net zero, because in most of the organizations, the net zero roadmap is there. The organizations want to do that net zero. They want to, offset their carbon emissions, minimize them, and then offset them with, tree plantation or something. But because of lack of proper data and forecasting, the that process gets hinders. So here again, a proper use of AI can help in that. Circular economy enablement. So here you all can see there's a lot of waste generation. Waste is becoming very, alarming situation for all of us. The waste recycling and waste using it, again, how to dispose of the waste, and hazardous and non-hazardous waste disposal. All these are very important, and AI can optimize. It can help through the use of IoTs, the Internet of Things. The waste sorting process can also be, optimized. How the recycling is being done, the efficiency can increase. These things cannot be, done in a very short period, but gradually the adoption will be gradual, and the benefits will also be reaped gradually. Climate risk analysis, predictive models are already there, where, the prediction of floods, heats. These things are helpful, but how to increase their accuracy and how to use the information which is being given by these predictive models for managing the supply chain climate risk. If a company comes to know that there's some flood expected in some particular area, and so the raw materials which it is, planning to take from that area will not be available, then a supply chain assessment made based on that can be made based on that. Then similarly, industries like manufacturing, transport, and retail gain measurable reductions in carbon footprint. AI for social performance. When we talk about social performance, so AI supports the social dimensions by detecting bias in recruitment performance, evaluation, and promotions, monitoring labor standards in global supply chains through the computer vision and also the analytics of IoT. Now, sentiment analysis is something very important, where the companies can do, sentiment analysis. We generally have feedback forms from the employees, and but how far are they being analyzed? How well are they being analyzed? That is the main issue. That to understand what is the employee morale, what are the grievances, how is the customer feedback. So this is also a very growing field of sentiment analysis, where these feedbacks, these grievances, they're properly analyzed, and the sentiment analysis is one technique which can be used. Enhancing health and safety monitoring in factories and hazardous sites. There are many hazardous sites where the human intervention is not possible, and so AI can help for health and safety monitoring. When we talk about mines or underwater, where there's a lot of hazardous things are there, and the workers are exposed to it, so AI should be used for in the best way to save the human lives, to make them safe and secure when they are working in such a conditions. And AI, so this is how it can be, it can be designed so that the operations are responsible, the human life is, taken care of, and any kind of mishaps are avoided. Governance is most important thing. When we talk about governance, the companies which are well governed, good governed, only those companies can do good ESG adoption. So automated internal controls and continuous auditing capabilities can be, put there, where the internal controls are automated. If anything, if any internal control is flouted, there should be some red flags which should be in the system. And similarly, the continuous auditing capabilities can be developed, where the companies can on real time see how the transactions are being moved, whether the audit trail is proper or not. Detection of fraud, unethical conduct, and compliance gaps. This can also be taken care of through anomaly detection. There are many systems which can, put the red flags on, and which can give you a mail that, okay, it seems that there's something wrong. You can check more deeper and see if any fraud is there. Enhance board reporting with real-time dashboards and predictive insights. Improve transparency if there's good regulatory compliance is there. So the companies can always brand themselves as a very good compliant companies which are having a strong governance. So there are many things which can be done, and it depends upon companies to companies and their operations. So, what are the key AI technologies which can assist ESG? Like natural language processing is there, which can help to extract ESG data from the reports. There are cumbersome long reports. Then there are many contracts with the suppliers, the vendors. Policies are there. So, NLP can be used for extracting the required data. Computer vision can be developed for, when there is some deforestation or there is emission leak, some worker safety compliance is there. Like many companies, they are developing big forests, Miyawaki forest or other types of forest where, they are using that carbon, the oxygen which is being there to offset their carbon emissions. For that, they are having different kind of satellite imaging or other things through which the data can be collected to see how those trees are doing, and how they're offsetting those carbon emission from them. Predictive modeling for resource planning, climate scenarios, and stakeholder risk. So predictive modeling can be done for resource planning, climate scenarios. AI chatbots for stakeholder queries and sustainability engagement can be done, and automated ESG scoring models. AI can be developed with the help of AI, which are aligned with the regulatory frameworks. So these capabilities, when they will be adopted by the companies, they will definitely accelerate their ESG maturity. That is, sometimes they're just, just for the namesake, they are doing ESG adoption, or if they're able to adopt it properly and also reap the benefits of the ESG adoption. So what is the roadmap for ESG and AI adoption? So there is a phase approach which ensures successful transformation. Like first, in any company, one has to assess the readiness, identify the data sources, gaps, and prioritize what are the ESG use cases where they want to adopt ESG first. Then the pilot projects have to be started with automation of reporting, the emissions accounting, or risk forecasting. AI governance has to be there. If we don't have proper governance while adoption of AI, then believe me, it is going to be a disaster for any company. So proper governance has to be there when we are implementing controls. There should be proper ethical framework should be there, proper workforce should be there. And this is where I think we as professionals have a very important role to play. Scale and integrate. Once we have done some pilot projects and we see that the results are fine, the controls are in place, and the output is as what was expected out of it, then we can scale and integrate it, and we can expand AI to other parts which are more complex, like to supply chain, to materiality assessments, and stakeholder analytics. Monitor and assure. Once we are able to do these things, then we can also build in the next types of features where we can ensure that the auditability is there, the compliance features are there, the assurance of sustainability data can be done through AI. So these are the next level. Once they're integrated, then that can be done in the next level. So there should be a balance between innovation and risk control. This is, I think, most important. Then when we are going towards innovation, the risk control should be very strong. Otherwise, the results will be not the way we want them, and it is going to, the efforts will not give you the benefits. So as again, whenever we are having something, when we're adopting something, there are always risks, there are always perils, and we should understand what are the risks and how we are going to manage those risks. So data privacy concerns will be there. The AI systems, they use large amounts of data. They collect, store, and process data, and there are many stringent acts like GDPR and all. So how we are going to address these data privacy concerns? Security vulnerabilities are there. There can be malicious attacks can be there. So the cybersecurity issues are there. how the security standards are being made compliant. That is of foremost importance. Regulatory lag can be there, the pace at which AI is developing, and the regulatory bodies are still coming up with the guidelines that how the AI governance has to be there. So this lag is there. We can see that lag. So sometimes there in some areas of we will find that there's a clear directives have still not been issued. So here the companies have to be very, very cautious that what stand are they taking, so that they can in future they can defend themselves, that why they have done this and why they, if any problems is there, then they can showcase that they have taken all the required controls are in place, but still these things have happened. Bias and discrimination in hiring or social governance models, greenwashing concerns can be there. So, and one thing like which many people, many forums we have heard, that the very high energy consumption can be an issue when we are adopting large models, so they can affect the carbon footprint of the company. So that balance has to be there in adoption of AI. And over reliance on automated tools may also reduce human oversight. So it should be, companies must treat it as a control system, which requires you governance, ethical design. So these have to be there. And again, the ethics and controls have to be there. There have to be explainability. The model validation should be there, and continuous monitoring should be there. Human in the loop for approval should be there. It should not be there that the AI is left to take approvals also. This is, where the human intelligence should always work. Bias testing should be there. Data governance, the lineage tracking should be there. And there should be transparent documentation of how the things are working in the system. That should be there, so that we are aligned with the regulatory expectations in future. If there are any issues are there or any problem arises, then this documentation is going to be most important. So how do the ESG professionals can help in AI integration? So ESG professionals, they play a very central role, because any AI, it has to be adopted, customized as per the requirement of that company, of that organization, the operations of that company, and it is the ESG professionals who have that understanding of the operations of that company. So they, on that basis, they can define the KPIs, the matrices, the data requirements for the AI system. Then the next step will be how to translate that data needs to the data science and IT teams, because once you have that requirement, then how that IT teams have to put it into templates, and how they have to see that AI system is there's an interface created for the AI systems, and the proper data is reaching to them, reaching to the system. Then the ESG professionals have to put a control system, so that there is a ethical and responsible AI development is there. In the initial stage, in the prototypes, they have to play a very, very important role. Then again, when the thing has to be operationalized, it has to be put into function, then they have to validate the outputs for accuracy and assurance. And these all will require a lot of training, change management, stakeholder and engagement. So in a way, they can become a strategic connectors between the sustainability, technology, governance, and enterprise risk. So it can be done with a good skill set, with the good experience, and also understanding how the things are moving, how the companies are adopting, what are the best practices. On that basis, only the ESG professionals can be well equipped to take the lead in AI integration. The key takeaways are that AI is a game-changing catalyst for ESG transformation. We all agree on that. We can see how the things are moving, and the companies that combine ESG with AI gain the competitive advantage through efficiency, through transparency, and also risk reduction. And it is very, very necessary that ESG professionals must upskill themselves in technology and data analytics. Ethical governance is also is important, and we can when it is there, then only the issues of greenwashing can be avoided. And we all agree, and we all can see that the future is of those organizations that are integrating the ESG and AI, that are aligning their sustainability commitments with intelligence systems, and through that only they can move towards responsible innovation.